Oh, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Dan United. 3 points in the bag, third place. But of course, good evening, good evening. You have to excuse me, the bloody cold is back in full force. But look, Manchester United are still back in full force, and it's been a weird feeling as a Manchester United fan the last 24 hours because I think I have to sit here and have a dose of reality and say, do you know something? A win's a win. We're third in the table. Chelsea dropped points to Arsenal. Fucking hell, thank God for Arsenal. Never thought I'd say that. So everything should be, in reality, be going very good. We should be feeling very happy. However, today I just kind of sat there and I thought, has Michael Carrick papered over the cracks of what we've been used to with Manchester United players for so long? Now, look, there's no way we're going to come out of yesterday and we're going to sit here and we're going to say Manchester United are back in the big time, baby. Everything's looking good and hunky-dory. But there are questions that I need to ask. I mean, I put the poll out saying, what's everybody's feeling after yesterday? 50% of you at the moment have said a win's a win. And I think that's where, logically, a lot of us Manchester United fans are. Look, we got the job done. Professionalism is, and that is what I want. That is what the most famous man in the world said. The greatest comic in the world, Mr. David Brent, said. However, you can't, as a football fan, as a United fan, you cannot sit there and feel bad for wanting more from your club. Now, look, we have come from the doldrums. We have, and we've got plenty of transfer news to talk about, by the way. There is mad transfer news coming out about Manchester United today. But I think we have to look at yesterday and air it with a little bit of worry, is what I'm going to say. Because Crystal Palace first half all over us. We couldn't get going. It's the third time in a row now where Manchester United have really struggled to come out the gates going for it. It's taken a goal for the last couple of games, hasn't it? Bar Everton, but Everton were never going to bloody attack, were they? So I'm not sat here saying there's problems, but I'm sat here saying there's a potential for problems. I remember when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer obviously come back and it was Ole's at the wheel and we all went, everything's brilliant, we're happy. And then there was performances that started to creep in and you'd go, uh-oh. And then I remember a very angry Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the end of the season saying, you'd be surprised at the sort of player that wants to come to Manchester United. And as we know how that ended up. But I think, look, first and foremost, Carrick, I think, did well yesterday. I know people slated the substitution of Sesko. I think it was actually a good substitution because I don't want Sesko picking up a needless bloody injury. I could see why he made the substitution. He'd done his job. It was so good to see Sesko get another goal as well, by the way. One of the most informed guys in the Premier League this side of Christmas at the moment. Fantastic news. I just don't like at the moment that Manchester United seem to be having to wait for that moment in a game where they have to then go for it. Like Man City, Arsenal, we went for it, didn't we? You know, and we looked good. Fulham, the first two goals, we looked good. Now we're going to the West Ham game. We conceded, had to battle. Everton, we had to battle. And then Spurs, Spurs are Spurs, they're shit, aren't they? I mean, Spurs are a fucking joke of a club. I will say it right now. Spurs are an absolute disgrace to the Premier League. But then yesterday, I just wonder how different the game would have gone if it hadn't been for the red card. I mean, yes, the second half United did come out and they did look like they were more at it. They looked a lot faster on the wings. The passing was looking a lot more crisper. But let's be honest, let's call it for what it is. A red card changed the game for Manchester United yesterday. Now, again, I'm not going to sit here and moan about the referee giving a red card against us. That's for the referee to decide. We've all got our opinions on VAR. We've all got our opinions on what referees get right and wrong. But we cannot go the rest of the season. We've got 10 cup finals, 10 World Cup finals left. We cannot keep going into games hoping for that bit of luck. There's an old saying, isn't there? You make your own luck. And I think Manchester United need to get back pretty sharpish to making their own luck. Now, look, we've got Newcastle on Wednesday. That is a massive game. We are very fortunate that Chelsea are playing Villa. That is like ridiculous luck that they are playing each other because they can't both win. So Manchester United Wednesday, for me, A point is what I desire. If we can get away from St James's Park, which we haven't had much luck there for a while, with a point, I will go away feeling very, very happy. And I think we can then look at the Villa game coming up after that, and then we can reassess our options. But make no mistake about it, Manchester United are smack bang in the Champions League race now. I mean, Champions League football and Manchester United, two things you would have never put together at the start of the season. It would be like putting Lady Gaga with I don't know, Kev. Dumb work. You're never going to have that. But somehow, some way, Manchester United now are straight back in there. So let me go through the comments. Feel like I'm ignoring you all. Good evening, Wahaha. He says it's a win. I went rather calm in the second half. We turned up a bit. Shaw Lacroix helped us out a little bit. Did, yes, absolutely. Jamie says, evening, Dan. Hope everyone's well. I think they are. Ilus Carpi. Hi guys. Good, thanks. Hope you guys are good. Someone's busy, says, I think Sesko is a super sub, still needs time to become a permanent starter. Anyone with me on this? Well, look, we'll pin that one. We'll pin that one because here's my thing with Sesko. It's the first game he started under Carrick yesterday, so I think it's a little early for us to say he's a super sub. I think he needs to have a run of 4 or 5, maybe 6 games as a starter. I think he's done all right. Like, the goal he scores yesterday, and I go back to what I said about this lad, this beautiful man, this striker that we seem to have got now. He doesn't just score your bog standard big man up top goal. He scores with his left foot, his right foot, he heads it. He outpaces people. He scores little flicks into the top corner. This lad has got it all. I'm so excited to see what happens here. Evening, hope you're all well, says Carl. Hope you're well too, man. Yeah, Big Dan in the house. Yes, bruh. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well, Nath. Transfer news, here we go. There is some transfer news that's quite stunning, actually. I got to be honest, I'm quite stunned at who we're linked with. We'll go through that. I'm worried because last 3 games haven't been great, says Jamie. And evening, Steve-O. Good to see you, buddy. Carl says, my opinion is that other than Brian, Cunha and Sesko, this is the same squad which has always struggled against teams that sit back more. So maybe that's why I'm not surprised about it anymore. Yeah, there's cause for that. We shouldn't moan. Heck, do you want Amorim back? Remember those days? Those are the same players. I'm not moaning. Look, I'm not going back to the Amorim days of moaning, Steve-O. Sorry, I'm not on Steve's comment there. I'm not going back to Amorim's moaning days because it is better. But what I am worried about is it papering over the cracks. Are the players that have seemed to have been, unleashed under Carrick starting to fall back into their old ways? Are performances starting to go wayward? And of course it's going to happen, isn't it? You can't play 10 out of 10 every game of the season or else you'd be playing for Barcelona or Real Madrid. Giles says West Ham, Everton, Palace have all been defensive teams, had to beat a defensive team. That's not... Giles makes a good point there. Look, Newcastle are going to be out. They're going to come out at us on Wednesday, and that will suit Manchester United down to the ground. I wonder, I just wonder if he will start Sesko on Wednesday. I wonder if he'll go with the front 3 of Brian up top, hoping to exploit that pace up top. We know Big Ben's got the pace, but I just wonder if he'll change it around a little bit. By the way, I don't think Hamad was great when he come on. I thought he did okay. And Xerxes, the least said about that man, the better. United should have had a pen before that. Yeah. Can we all just actually remember that a second? Like, can we all take a fucking second to remember that? Because I didn't forget that. There was a blatant handball. The ball comes in and he jumped. I think, was it Richards? Jumped in an unnatural position and just off the top of his fingers. I wonder, and this isn't a very good analogy here, but I wonder if that's why VAR give the red. Because they fucked up that. I don't know. VAR's terrible, isn't it? Max, good to see you, mate. Newcastle have been in bad form. 3 points for us on Wednesday, 100%. I hope so. I don't think the issue was with Sesko. Midfield's been sloppy lately. Mustafa, good to see you, mate. He says, first half we were lacking intensity. Second half we stepped it up. Yes, it was a pen, but not a red in my opinion. But you create your own luck. Exactly that. And look who's here. United in the house that says, yes, we are third, lads. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. I'd start Sesko because Newcastle wanted him. He will want to prove a point. Well, they got Voltemada, who's obviously one of the best strikers in the world. Voltemada, they got Voltemada. Voltemada, yeah. They seem to be a bit quiet about him at the moment. Look, we can sit here and we can discuss about, are there issues? We need to, I think, as a Manchester United fan now, what I want from the club in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I want clarity on our manager. After the next 2 or 3 weeks, I want it done and dusted, because we are then getting into towards the end of March, start of April. The season is near its end then. You've got, what, 6, 7 weeks left? I want clarity now on what we're doing with this manager. Because, look, for all intents and purposes, Carrick has done a blinding job at Manchester United. We are third in the table, and we are third in the table with a group. That's better. I don't know what happened there, lads. Don't know what happened there. We are third in the table with a group of players that I don't think have been anywhere near the level of what we thought a lot of them could be. Some of them have stepped up, and I would have to go as far to say the new lads have stepped up, but we still have the same old inconsistencies. Now, the reason I want this done in the next 2 or 3 weeks, so that we then go from papering up the cracks to putting out a plan to completely replaster the cracks, is I want this manager, if he is going to be in charge, to start sounding out who his players are that he wants for next season. I want this manager to already be saying to players, look, you're not going to be with me next season. Off you go. Because the last thing we want is uncertainty going into next season with Champions League football, which at the moment you'd have to say, whether you like it, whether you lump it, whether you're United, whether you're not, it's happening, isn't it? Champions League for Manchester United is happening. Chappie, good to see you, mate. He says, we know some of the players are average at best, no strength in depth, may come back to bite us. Well, the fortunate thing is, as I said, we've got 10 games. 10 games left. Some clubs have still got a minimum of 12, 13, 14. We're okay. I'm afraid we will not know who the manager is until the World Cup. The Nagelsmann will be free. Look, again, I'll say this. Hang on a minute. Let me just end the poll. 62% of you have said a win's a win. Here's the problem, okay? Here is the problem for me with Manchester United. If they choose to wait until a manager is free after the World Cup, well, then Ineos have gone and done it again. They've gone and fucked it up again. We can't wait until after the World Cup, chat. Brian Brigade, I'm telling you now. I'm telling you. Trust me. We cannot wait until after the World Cup. I don't care if they're going to come straight after the final kick of their game is done. We need a manager who is here from the last game of the season, prepping that squad, going out there with the scouts, looking at reports, looking at how they want to build the team. And unfortunately, Nagelsmann, Martinez, they are going to be away with their clubs, their countries, until at least the end of June. That's too long. That is far too long. Far too long. What else we got here? We've all seen and know about the players and their weaknesses. We need to start discussing players in to get better. It's what we all want to see. Agree. Shaw, I've seen somewhere that Shaw was ill. I've seen somewhere. I'll just clarify, but I've seen somewhere that Shaw was actually ill, and that's all it was. Let's have a look. Yeah, I saw that it was just an illness. Let's have a look. Yeah, it was an illness. I mean, why fucking start him if he's not very well? Apparently, so is that? I think that's Maguire as well. I think they were both feeling rough. Yeah, apparently so. Shaw and Maguire were ill. Contact illness. I'm boycotting the World Cup, by the way, even with Norway there for the first time in forever. I cannot watch something where there is a travel ban on nations taking part. I saw some clarification on that. I don't agree with the travel ban, by the way. And look, I'm not a political person. Politics and football do not go together, so I won't get down that. But from what I can see, I think the players of the countries and the staff can go in, but it's not right. I agree with you, Jarl. It's not right. I do agree with you. It's not right. I think Carrick has made himself first choice myself. I tell you what, let's put a poll in. Let's put a poll. Is it Carrick's job? Yes or no? Is it Carrick's job? Yes or no? There's a few of you in here. Is it Carrick's job? Yes or no? Because at the moment, I think, yeah. I think it's Carrick's job. I think it's done. And the reason I think it's done is because performance after performance after performance may not be great, But result, we're top 3. I think it's done. I absolutely think it's done. Steve-O says we will lose games sooner or later. There will be jittery nerves, but we can't panic and start calling out Carrick. No, I agree. Carl says, I think once we lose a game, it'll really show if the team has changed or not by how they react in the next game. Look, the one thing I will say, it's a good comment, Carl. The one thing I will say about this Manchester United side under Carrick is this. It's simple. Whether we're not winning games beautifully, whether we're not looking like we're the team that should be dominating in some games, you have to say that Carrick's getting a response out of these players. He is. He's getting a response out of these players. We have seen too many times in the last 2 or 3 years where we've gone behind in games and we've had nothing. We've had nothing to give. What I like about what Carrick does, the West Ham game showed it for me. Caution to the wind. Yeah? We're losing a game. He'd rather lose by 2 and risk going up the other end and getting an equaliser than sitting on resting on his laurels and going, do you know what? Keep doing what we're doing, we'll get there. I think that's one thing that can be proven here is the lads are playing for him. The lads are putting the effort. They're listening to what he says. So I think it's Carrick's. Giles says if Carrick gets Champions League, he should stay. Chappie says it's too early to say. At the moment, I got to be honest with you, it's very, very close. 62% of you. 62% are saying yes to it. And Carl says here, I don't see any other alternative. We are in a settled formation. Players respect him, and just as important, the other coaches too. And this comment here, smash a like for Wahaha's comment. I don't like any of the available managers either. I tell you what, chat. Quick exercise. Give me some managers that are available. Put some managers in the comments that are available while I eat my chocolate. Put some managers that are available for Man United at the moment in the comments. I guarantee the list won't be as secure and good as you think it is. Choking on a chocolate bar. Here we go. Carl says Martin Hez and Southgate. We'd say no and no to them. I'd say yes, but who fucking knows with Sir Jim? That's a good point. Although you would say, with him being English, Sir Jim would be creaming in his pants, wouldn't he? Xavi says, Carl, I don't want Xavi. I mean, does anyone really want Xavi? Xavi does not interest me at all. Xavi does not get me excited as a Manchester United fan to come in and do something with this club. Xavi is a diva and not particularly great at exactly that. Who else we got? Glasner. I mean, fucking Glasner. No chance. No chance. That's 4 managers already. 1, 2, 3. That's 4 managers already. Has anybody got any other managers for me? Put your comments in. Let me see what managers you think for United. There's only 2 that I would take. There's only 2 that if they come out tomorrow and said, we're not giving Carrick the job, that I would be content with. That's Iriola and that is Luis Enrique. Both not going to happen. Zidane, waiting for France at the end of the World Cup, so he's a no. And let's be honest, he's been out of the game for so long. Nagelsmann, when he becomes free, but Max, again, my problem with that is he won't be free till Germany are going to go deep in this World Cup. That's what she said. Germany are going to go deep, yeah? Very deep. Let's say they get to the quarterfinals, to the semi-finals. That's the start of July. The season starts in August. Do we really want a manager who's going to be with the group for a month? Bearing in mind, we want all of our transfers done by this manager. We want this manager to get time with the players who aren't at the World Cup and then the ones that come back and start frequenting from holiday. I don't want Nagelsmann. Don't want him at all. I don't like him. I don't like him. He had his audition when he went to Bayern Munich and it went horribly wrong. So, not for me. Not for me. And yeah, there we go. Seems to always be Italian managers linked to United. De Zerbi's another one. I mean, De Zerbi's another one, isn't he? De Zerbi, does anyone really want De Zerbi? I don't think he De Zerbi's the chance, to be fair. That's horrendous. Sorry. What formation does he play mostly? Well, exactly, Carl. This is the thing. I mean, Nagelsmann's more a 4-2-3-1, isn't he? Does he play the 3, actually? I think he plays the 4-2-3-1. Let's have a look. Yeah, 4-2-3-1. He's a 4-2-3-1 kind of guy. Or a 4-3-2-1. So we could be stuck with a Dross manager, Max. I don't... Oh. Right, Max, let me ask you a question. You know I love you, buddy. You know I love you. Did you ever anticipate Manchester United would finish third this season? Like, let's cut the bullshit away. Let's just go straight into it. Did you ever anticipate Manchester United could finish third this season? Because I don't think there's anyone on this this community that said that. I don't think anybody said it. I think, look, whether you like him or you don't rate him, I think he's done fucking well. So no, there we go, Max. So would you not want to give the manager who's put us in third the chance to bring some players in? We already know what players we're kind of linked with. We already know that we need to get the midfield sorted. We know that we need a right back or a left back, maybe a left back over a right back at the moment. Would you not be willing to give this manager 12 months to go out there with a full transfer market, with a full transfer window, behind him? We know that players are leaving the club. I think he, at the moment, I just think it all points to. I think it all points to him, and that is why, again, I will say. And you know, Max, I do take this point by Max. That is why I will say this: 12-month contract, 12-month rolling contract. That's all Manchester United can do with him. That is all United can do with Carrick. It has to be a 12-month rolling. None of this 3-year bullshit. I want a full season out of Carrick. Yes, he's done well to take us from where we were, and he's made us look a lot better. He's made us more secure. But I absolutely think that we should be saying to him, right, the job's yours, but you're still on a probation here, mate. You're going to have 12 months here, a full season, with European football, with the FA Cup, with the Carabao Cup. We're going to see what you're like now managing these players in more frequent games. I think that's the best way to do it. But again, I could be wrong. Will any new manager with their difficult tactics get this team understand what he wants? Carrick does it simple and keeps it that way. Let's not forget, guys, right? I put this picture up the other day. I put this picture up, and it's pictures like this that make me fall in love with the management even more. And that's this one. Let me just do that. That picture there. That picture there just makes me fall in love with them even more. You got Woodgate there and Stevie Holland. And what are they doing? They're there watching the youth lads. They're not just thinking about today, they're planning for tomorrow. They're going to these games. They're getting in amongst it. They're looking at what these lads have got to bring coming through the youth. That, to me, tells me there that he has to get the job. He does, because pre-season... And let's go another scenario here, right? Let's go another scenario. I'll keep that up a second, right? Would it not make sense? This bloke, Michael Carrick, is going and watching the youth players every chance he gets. When we get to pre-season, does it not make the biggest sense in the world for this manager to be in charge, to take some of those young lads on the pre-season tour? Which he's going to have to, because it's World Cup. The World Cup is here, so we are going to have to take a lot of youth players, because players will be given time off, depending on how far through the World Cup they go. There will be time off for players, so it makes the most sense for this bloke to have full control here and let him do what he needs to do in the pre-season. But only a 12-month rolling contract. That's what it needs to be. Moxie, good to see you, mate. He says, evening, Dan. If Carrick takes us to a top 4 finish, then he has to be considered properly. A lot of people being mentioned. I don't think are United managers. Absolutely love that comment, Moxie. Manchester United have tried it all. We have tried it all with all different types of managers. We've gone with winners with Jose. We've gone up and coming with Amorim. We've gone ex-players with Ollie. We've gone with winning things in their country with Ten Hag. We've gone with international pedigree with Van Gaal. We've gone with done really well in the Premier League on a budget with Moyes. We have tried every cycle. Every cycle. Let's do it right this time. Carl says, at the end of the day, the points are what matters, not performances so much if you are winning. Agree. I saw we were linked with Ramirez today. Don't know if it's realistic, but Wharton is an option. I've got to be honest. Got to be honest with you right now. When I saw we were linked with Bruno Guimaraes, I laughed. There is no way that happens. And you know something? I'm going to say it right now. I don't think Pete and the Loaded Mag boys and Queen Sophie would ever speak to me again. I think they'd disown me. If United went and got Bruno... No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We do need a right back and left back. Need Wilcox to give him a 1-year deal. And exactly that. That is exactly what Manchester United need to do. That is it. Give him a 1-year deal. Let's see him in a full season. And then we move on from that. Big up, Shane. Shane, thank you very much for last night, my brother. Getting us the 6 points lead against Chelsea. Can't wait to go and speak to Charlie in 5-10 minutes and have a chat with him, see how he is. Obviously, Carrick has improved the team with some average players. Could do with some decent signings. There we go, chappy. Them three have revolutionised us, made us hard to beat. I bring one more coach in to help Carrick the tools he will need. Hopefully Maguire will be available against Newcastle. I hope so too. But apparently Martinez could be back for that game. Carrick or Iriola or Emery. I don't want Emery. There's no point in chasing Emery, Jamie, because Emery won't leave Villa. Not unless he falls out with them. Not unless he says, look, lads, I've been operating on a shoestring budget here for the last 2 or 3 seasons, and I've got your European football. Either back me and give me something, or I'm off. If Emery become available, well, then there's a different conversation to be had. Different conversation. What we realistically need in the summer window is a first choice left back and a top number 6, and another midfielder, a right back, and if possible another number 9. I've got the number 9 sewn up for you, Moxie. We've had a conversation, Moxie and I. We've agreed about this several times together. In the summer, I would keep it with Sesko. I would go there and I'd say, Welbeck, come back, mate. Come and have a season. Chida Obi's obviously developing in the background. Use him as the third striker if he doesn't go on loan. That is who I would take, because you've still got goals with Cunha, still got goals with Brian, still got goals with Bruno, you still got goals with Ahmad. Honestly, go and get me Danny Welbeck in the summer. You can laugh about it, you can mock me for it, and yes, unfortunately, I'm not going to be like a certain Mr. Goldbridge and say, I want a player for 450 grand a week. No, I fucking don't. I want players I know I can trust. I want players I know who can still do the job. When we have not got the money, remember, to go out there and completely revolutionise this squad, why not make it a bit simpler on yourself? Danny Welbeck would absolutely come back to United for a season or 2. Just go and say, there you go, Brighton. Here's 10 million. Here's 5 million, whatever. I don't think... In fact, how long has he got left on his contract? How long's Welbs got left on his contract? 2026. So Welbeck's on a free this season. Am I right in thinking that? Am I right in thinking that he's on a free transfer? I think he's on a free transfer. Go and get it done, man. Easy. Easy peasy. Is Holland to Carrick what Taylor was to Clough? If you know, you know. Have you ever... that programme, by the way. Have you ever seen the series? The series on the Clough story. Fucking brilliant. Iriola hasn't proven anything. Would be another Thomas Frank at Spurs, says Carl. I can get behind that. Sesko and Cheeto learning off Welbeck. In fact, look, I'm going to put it in here straight away. I'm going to put it in here because I don't give a flying fuck. 69% were hey. Say it's Carrick's job. Would you take Welbeck as the backup striker? Would you take Welbeck as the backup striker for United? Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Yes, Moxie, I think he is. I've just checked. Seeing that Casemiro is telling United who to buy to replace him, well, to that I say, Casemiro, shut the fuck up. Get your job done, mate. You're doing really well. Thought you had another decent game on Sunday. Do your job. We'll do ours. You're walking out the door. Go on now, go. Don't turn around now because you ain't welcome anymore. You can come back and, you know, do the lap and everything. We'll applaud you, but no chance. Sesko, Guimaraes would be 100 million easily, and I'd rather pinch Tonali. I'd rather Adam Wharton, to be fair. Not Adam Wharton. I'd rather Anderson, to be fair. I'd rather Anderson. And Carl says no. Wow. That's your opinion. I just think for where United need to spend money in the summer, I think striker, that's a nice and easy little tight. That's a little tidy up, that is. That's a nice little tidy up. Welbeck scores goals, man. Welbeck, I mean, how many goals he got this season? Considering he's what, 35? Is he 35? Let's have a look. 5? Sorry about my nose, guys. Transfer market. Welbs. Danny Welbeck. Get rid of that. 35. He's 36 this year, man. He's got 10 goals this season in the Premier League. He's got 10 goals in the Premier League. I mean, it's a simple one, that is, isn't it? What's it in all? Hang on, let's have a look in all competitions. $11 in 30, 1 in 3, isn't it? Pretty much. You do the math. If you know, you know. Ellie, any Aluko. If you know, you know. Welbeck on a free. I put that before you said he was on a free. I'd take him on a free. Max, you're missing the point, bud. Do you remember? Right, Max, you're definitely an older gentleman, a bit older than myself, but you'll remember this for sure. I think Danny Welbeck could come back and have the same impact on what Henrik Larsson did when he come back for Rooney and Ronaldo. I'm not saying Welbeck is the same player as Larsson, but I think a player at that age coming back, being able to put a shift in on the pitch, still scoring goals. I think him to like Chido Obi and co. I think it'd be priceless. I think it would be priceless. And yeah, and Steve-O says it absolutely. There we go. Look, I think most of us are in agreement there. Now, I am jumping onto the 12th man chat in a second. I've got to go and say hello, and we're third in the league. You know, we're third. By the way, none of them put us in their top 8 predictions this summer, last summer anyway. So I've got to go and say hello. But I do want to end it on this. I did want to end it on this. Let me just bring this up. I wanted to end it on this. And I just think, what better way, right? What better person to end it on? Yeah? Let me just save that image. Let me just share this. Let me just put this image up. Where are we? Downloads. That old phrase, people, the grass is not always greener on the other side. I will stay at Manchester United and not play for 6 to 12 months if I'm not allowed to go to Chelsea. And guess what happens, Viva Garnacho? You went to Chelsea, you had the same big dick energy, you think you're the big boy, and now Rafinha wants to dump you. And now Chelsea are looking to get rid of you. Carlsberg don't do transfers of ex-players, but if they did, they'd probably be the best. This little shit is on his way out of Chelsea at the end of the season. And I have to say, I am absolutely over the moon, because not only did Chelsea pay us money to take this bozo off our fucking hands, but they are already experiencing now what poor attitude and what a poor player this little prick is. Never speak ill of ex-players if they deserve it because of what they did with the badge. But this guy here absolutely has been found wanting, and he will probably end up in Saudi or he'll end up in Spain somewhere, but he will not stay in the Premier League. I said to Kev yesterday, he should have put up and shut up. He wasn't happy with Amorim, he should have got his head down, like Mainu did. Mainu was playing far less games than this bozo, but he had to push. He had to push and push and push and push and push. And what did that get him? Sweet fuck all. Now he's sitting on the bench at Chelsea. So yeah, I just wanted to end the show on that because I thought it was it makes me so happy when ex-bozos still bozo it up at their new clubs. 60% of you have said you would take Welbeck back as striker. That is music to my ears. And never heard such well true words spoken. Guys, Tomorrow we'll try and do a preview for the Newcastle game, which is on Wednesday. But other than that, enjoy your Monday nights. I am full of cold, so I've done very well. I've dosed up. I've done very well to get through this, and now I've got to go and listen to Charlie and co explain why United are ahead of them in the table, and also why Errol, Liverpool, was at Old Trafford yesterday. I need to find that out. Take care, Wahaha. And apparently they're already looking to offload him in the summer, and Rossignol is onto him, the horrible little twat. What better words to end it on? Smash a like on the way out for this horrible little twat getting exactly what he deserved. Dan United, Carnacho, Uta!